The U.S. military releases its study on the impact of bringing the F-35s to Madison. What it says will be most impacted right now at 10.
And Quintez Cephas's former roommate and teammate takes the stand on day 3 of his sexual assault trial.
Plus, state Republicans file a lawsuit today against Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul. What it's alleging, straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
First, we bring you breaking news from the Channel 3000 Alert Center tonight. A major intersection in Whitewater is blocked off tonight following a multi-vehicle crash. This was first reported right around 7:30 at the intersection of Highway 12 and County Road N. A photo from a News 3 Now viewer shows first responders at the scene and debris spread across the road. You can see a pretty serious scene there, a damaged camper as well. There is no information at this time about those injuries. We'll be sure to update you over on channel3000.com.
The United States Air Force released a draft report identifying some of the potential impacts of bringing F-35 jets to Madison.
According to that report, people living around the airport could hear what many have been worried about, that being a significant noise increase. Gabriela Buquera has more from neighbors tonight. Gabby?
The Air Force is considering Truax Field for the future home of F-35 Lightning II jets. And residents living nearby are both for and against bringing the new jets to Madison. We talked to some of them today.
I kind of get a kick out of them.
Bill Lynch bought his house in 1976. He lives about 5 minutes from Truax Field.
There's been different types of planes over the years. You know, A-10s and F-16s, and now the F-35s are expected to come in.
In December 2017, the Air Force said Madison was the preferred base to house the next generation fighter jet. Lynch says he doesn't mind the noise and supports bringing the jets to Madison.
The flyers have been good neighbors and doing what they can to minimize disruption, while accomplishing the missions that they have to accomplish.
The 115th Fighter Wing currently flies F-16s out of the base, which will eventually be phased out.
For a landing pattern, they come just over the trees, just on the other side of the trees there. For takeoff pattern, they come from behind this building, our condo.
The draft report says the noise will spread an additional 1,300 acres, affecting about 2,000 more people.
It's going to be a pretty rough place to live.
Ed Bloom lives down the street and says he is not in support of bringing the jets to the middle of the city.
Don't bring them here. That's my thoughts on it. If you want to combat the noise, just don't bring them here.
The draft report shows no significant impacts to air or land quality near Truax Field. The 115th Fighter Wing declined an on-camera interview but told News 3 Now in an email statement that they welcome public comment on the matter. The public will have the opportunity to share their opinions on September 12th, and the final decision will be made in February 2020.
Certainly something we'll continue to follow. Gabby, thank you so much. We have an update to share about a story we brought you last night. The U.S. Navy says the pilot of a fighter jet that crashed yesterday in California has died. Military officials say 7 other people were also injured. Those people were watching at a scenic overlook where military pilots speed through a canyon. Now, the FA-18 Super Hornet crashed while on a routine training mission.
Dramatic dash cam video from the Washington State Highway Patrol shows a small plane making an emergency landing this morning. Take a look at this video from the troopers' patrol car. You can see just how fast the plane was coming in when it dipped below a streetlight and then landed in the middle of the road. That pilot told troopers the engine completely quit on him. And you can see the space available that made for the perfect landing spot. No one was hurt.
Wow.
We will learn tomorrow morning whether a former UW football player will take the stand in his own defense.
2 women claim Quintez Cephas sexually assaulted them 1 year ago. His former roommate and fellow Badger football player Danny Davis took the stand today and told that court while he was drinking that night he remembers the 2 alleged victims being coherent. Davis admitted to taking a photo of the women in Cephas's room after Cephas walked out of the room naked and asked him to take that picture. Davis said the sound of the picture being taken woke up one of those women, but when she got angry, Davis says he deleted the picture from his phone. He added that he later spoke to one of the girls who was in that room.
Did she say that she was mad at herself for having hooked up with Quintez?
Yes.
Did she say she said, everybody will think I'm a slut?
Yes.
She never said she was upset about, hey, Quintez just raped me. She never said that,
No.
right? It was all about the picture, and AJ is going to find out, and she was mad at hooking up with Quintez, correct?
Yes.
We will be back at the courthouse tomorrow morning. The trial continues at 8 a.m.
A 19-year-old Milwaukee man is dead after an overnight police chase. Investigators say police were chasing a stolen car. The driver ran multiple traffic lights and stop signs during that 4-mile chase until he ran a flashing red light and hit another car. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. A 2-year-old boy left in a car for 10 hours this weekend in northern Wisconsin is back home tonight. His father, however, is in jail. This happened Sunday in Schofield. 22-year-old Atchery Joaquin says it was all an accident. Police say the little boy's mom found him in the car right around noon, and they say he had been in there since 2 a.m. The toddler was rushed to the hospital and treated for extreme exhaustion. Joaquin is expected to officially face child neglect charges when he's in court tomorrow.
Let's turn things over to weather now. Meteorologist Dana Fulton with our first alert forecast tonight. And Dana, you keep bringing the good news, girl.
A lot of good news in our corner right now. Sunshine expected through the weekend. Today, a very seasonal start to August with temperatures in the low 80s for afternoon highs. Now, it was just a little cool outside this morning. We started the day off in the low 50s. It should have been up in the low 60s. Some areas even along Lake Michigan got to the upper 40s for those overnight lows. Right now, our Doppler track is nice and quiet. It'll stay quiet overnight. With that clear sky, our temps will drop yet again. Right now, we're at 62 in Madison, 70 for Mineral Point and in Platteville. Plan on those temps falling to the mid to upper 50s for overnight lows with a calm, light breeze. Tomorrow, nice and sunny, but it is going to be just a smidge warmer. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to low 80s. And overall, the weekend really doesn't look too bad. There is going to be a slight chance for showers, but we'll take a closer look at that in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you so much. SSM Health says plans will continue to develop over the coming months about an expansion project at its campus on Fish Hatchery Road. Tonight, they shared concept designs for that project during a meeting at the Madison Labor Temple on Park Street in the hope of getting some feedback from the public. They say these designs will be changing, and meetings like this are meant to keep the community involved. SSM Health was originally going to build a new facility on Park Street, that is, but that idea was scrapped. Republican state lawmakers are suing the Democratic Attorney General tonight, saying he is not complying with laws passed during a lame duck legislative session that limited his powers. They argue that Josh Kaul isn't following provisions requiring him to get permission from lawmakers before settling lawsuits and giving the legislature control over settlement money. It's the first lawsuit related to the lame duck session filed by Republicans. 4 others fighting the laws have been filed by Democrats and their allies.
A Wisconsin corn maze is using this year's design to communicate an important message that your life matters.
Everybody is somebody's most important person. If we can make a difference, if we save a life this fall, that's worth it.
John and Julie Govin's corn maze has had different designs over the years, but this year it hits home. The couple lost a family member to suicide 6 months ago. The design features the National Suicide Hotline number. The corn maze at Govin's Meats and Berries west of Eau Claire opens September 21st. Next week, there will be nightly road closures at a major intersection. Crews will be setting large concrete girders for the 2 new Verona Road bridges over Highway PD in Fitchburg. PD will be closed at the intersection from 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. next Monday through Thursday. The entire Verona Road project is expected to wrap up this fall.
The 2019 CrossFit Games are officially underway at the Alliant Energy Center. This is the 3rd year the games have been here in Madison, and it is the biggest one yet. This year's field expanded to include athletes from 114 countries. That is up from just 32 countries last year. Competition continues for the next 3 days, coming to an end on Sunday when the fittest man and woman on earth will be crowned. In West Allis, the Wisconsin State Fair is also off and running. It too runs until Sunday. This is the 168th year, featuring live performances and hundreds of food options. A few new ones this year: M&M donut sundaes, unicorn beer floats, and bug tacos. I will pass.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'll take an M&M sundae or two of those in place of the bug tacos. Yeah. Still to come at 10. If you have any outdoor plans this weekend, it is looking really nice, but there is a chance for rain coming up in the next few days.
But first, 2 years after it was implemented, how the city says its mall curfews have been working. It's a story you will only see on News 3 Now at 10 next. Welcome back. It's now been 2 years since East and Westtown Malls implemented its youth escort policy, attempting to cut down on complaints about unruly teenagers.
Since late July of 2017, mall visitors under 18 must have a parent or guardian who's at least 21 years old with them on Fridays and Saturdays after 4 p.m. or really any other time the mall finds necessary.
Madeline O'Neill takes a look at if the curfew has been successful and how it's affecting teens in the community.
I was kind of upset.
Teens love clothes and shoes.
You can say it's in a teen's very fabric to be drawn to the mall.
When I was a teenager, I did those same things.
But some believe the mall's youth escort policy is pushing them away.
Running kids away from public spaces like that, I actually think will increase crime because they're going to find ways to engage.
President of the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, Michael Johnson, knows keeping kids engaged is key.
And we should have safe, supervised places for kids to go, including the mall.
Places the Boys and Girls Club offers.
We could play basketball, or we'd have snacks, we can play on the computers, and we can play Fortnite sometimes.
Rennell Brooks thinks the mall curfew is unfair.
It's just making it harder for the other people who haven't done anything.
While Johnson says Boys and Girls Club programs are full.
The malls are empty, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's impacted their business.
CBL Properties wouldn't answer if the policy has had an impact on business at its East and West Town malls. But a mall spokesperson wrote in a statement that they have seen a decrease in the number of incidents involving unaccompanied youths. And while they do keep track of those incidents on their properties, they couldn't disclose that information.
We were responding to disturbances, loud fighting juveniles throughout the mall area.
Madison Police Captain Mike Hansen worked in the West District, which includes Westtown, for the past 5 years.
We did have security at one point attacked. We had customers attacked.
He says in the 2 years since the mall wrote and put the policy in place, he's noticed a decrease in the number of youth-related calls to Westtown.
But by and large, it has been a good plan to have in place from the police perspective.
Records of police calls to both West and East Town malls don't show which involve juveniles, but disturbance calls rose from 32 to 58 in the 3 years prior to the youth escort policy and dropped to 46 in the year after and now 41 this past year.
We know that just because a policy is in place at this location doesn't mean something else isn't going to boil elsewhere, so we have our gang officers and other officers stay attuned to where these youth are now going.
While Hansen says there are plenty of places for younger kids to go to stay out of trouble, he wishes Madison had more programming for teens 13 and up.
So whoever finds that crystal ball of great programming for the youth out there in that demographic, that age group, it's really going to make a huge impact in our community.
Johnson thinks you just have to look.
You don't see crime happening around our Boys and Girls Clubs. You don't see kids stealing cars around our Boys and Girls Clubs. They're there because they're engaged in high-yield activities. And I think the mall could do the same thing.
Brooks doesn't mind trading evenings shopping for time here at the club.
Here you can actually be more active. At the mall, you just walk around and buy stuff.
Rather than turn teens away, Johnson would like to find ways to weave them in.
Our kids are part of the fabric of this community.
According to East and West Town malls, the policy will remain in place.
Not too bad of a day to head out to the mall or whatever else you gotta do, but hopefully it was a bit outside. Dana Fulton joining us now with more good news in the forecast.
There were a lot of events going on today. Of course, the State Fair, the CrossFit Games, things continuing into the weekend, and thankfully we're in a really nice pattern for whatever may take you outside. Our Doppler track clear and quiet throughout the northern Midwest, not just for southern Wisconsin. We don't have anything new moving in. That's thanks to some high pressures that's just ridging in and keeping things fairly calm. Nothing new again developing overnight, so you get to enjoy that clear sky. We have some storms well off to the east, moving towards the east coast. Some storms in the plains right now. We don't have any rain chances marching in until late on Saturday. We're currently at 62 in Madison, about 72 in La Crosse, and 66 in Dubuque, so everyone's sitting in a similar temperature spot to where we were this time yesterday. Our dew point's close to 60, so it actually feels pretty comfortable outside at Madison, about 54 right now. A really nice evening expected, and it might be another cool start to the day tomorrow. Hopefully not as cool as we were this morning. We may see a few more degrees get added on for our overnight lows and for our afternoon highs for Friday. Mostly sunny skies expected for your Friday. By Saturday, we're mostly sunny in the morning. Clouds start to develop in the afternoon, and then a slight chance for showers starts to move in later on in the day. Not expecting a lot of rain, but as you can see, those shower chances are going to sink south. They may bring a few isolated thunderstorms along with it. It's just a good day to keep an eye to the sky. Just be weather aware because the whole area isn't going to be dealing with rain. And just have to keep up, again, eye to the sky as those showers do come through late in the day on Saturday. Rainfall accumulation totals hovering around just a few hundredths of an inch. Again, not a major rain event. May just have a few isolated showers pop up late in the day on Saturday. The good news as those showers do pass through, things cool down very quickly behind them. Overnight low temperatures will drop again into the 50s tomorrow afternoon. Plan on our highs in the mid to low 80s, so we'll be just a little warmer outside with a light breeze expected throughout the day. Saturday morning should be pretty pleasant. And then in the afternoon, temperature-wise, we won't be too bad. In the low 80s for afternoon highs, but those shower chances will start to pop up later in the day. Plan on starting Friday off at about 58 in Madison with a mostly clear sky. It's going to allow our temperatures to drop just a little bit, but mid to upper 50s for those overnight lows throughout the area. Tomorrow, a high of about 83, so just a little warmer than today, but still very pleasant. We stay in the mid to low 80s through the weekend. A better chance for showers will develop late in the day on Monday and overnight. A slight chance lingering into next Tuesday. And then we are expecting temperatures for the middle of next week to land in the upper 70s with the sunshine returning. Thankfully, as we look at that 10-day forecast, there aren't any major jumps or drops with our temperatures, and we don't have any big systems coming through. That small rain chance on Saturday doesn't bring along any severe potential, just again, a few raindrops for some isolated areas for late on Saturday, and even the storm chances looking at late Monday on Tuesday right now, not packing any major severe potential with them either, just a few isolated showers coming through.
Picture perfect August.
Yes, starting off
Really.
August really good right now. So if we could keep that trend going, that'd be fantastic.
All right, thank you.
Badger football practice starts, and so does the competition to be the starting quarterback. That story's coming up in sports.
The Badger football team had its first practice of fall camp this morning at Camp Randall Stadium. The season opener is now less than a month away, August 30th at South Florida. And let that quarterback competition begin. Jack Cohn, of course, the incumbent. He started 4 games, including the win in the Pinstripe Bowl. And then there's Graham Mertz, the new hotshot quarterback from Kansas, who was pretty active on social media until he arrived in town to play for the Badgers.
To be honest, I haven't been on Twitter in, probably like 5 months, 6 months. I kind of just dove all in and just trying to be a sponge and just soak everything in. So really I just kind of put my all into it, and then hopefully at the end it will all come back. So I really haven't been paying attention to it at all.
Is Madison kind of what you thought it was?
But yeah, it's home. It's home. I love it. I couldn't ask for anything different.
Preseason college football poll out. The Badgers are ranked 17th in the nation in today's coaches poll. The usual suspects at the top: Clemson, Alabama, Georgia. Top Big Ten teams: Ohio State 5th, Michigan 7th. Tomorrow night, the Packers have their annual family night practice at Lambeau Field. If you're going, gates open at 5:30. Practice starts at 7:30. Packers say there still are a few tickets available, $10 a piece online at Ticketmaster. Of course, Aaron Rodgers will be the focus of the Packers offense, and he'll be throwing a lot to his #1 target, Devontae Adams. After Adams, Rodgers' targets could include Geronimo Allison, Jake Kumerow, Marcus Valdez-Scantling, or whoever makes the roster. Adams says there's a lot for the coaches to choose from.
This will be one of the hardest years since I've been here. They definitely got their work cut out for them. It's going to be sad, definitely, at this point. I've had different years where kind of how things are going to pan out, but this year is definitely going to be the hardest one. Coming into it, all these guys knew that it was going to be basically me and then a bunch of younger guys all together, kind of grouped together. So, there's been different guys that have stepped up as leaders, too, which is going to make the decision even tougher for them. So, I'm just glad I'm not in that position having to make that call.
Melvin Gordon has requested a trade from the Los Angeles Chargers. Gordon is in the last year of his rookie contract and wants a new deal. The Chargers aren't budging from their original offer of $10 million a season. Gordon is scheduled to make $5.6 million this season from the Chargers. Madison Mallards had a wild one in Battle Creek, Michigan tonight. Final score is Bombers 8, Mallards 7. Mallards are at Battle Creek again tomorrow night. For a long time, Brewers reliever Josh Hader was unhittable. Lately, Hader has been very hittable. Brewers closed out their series in Oakland this afternoon. They were leading 3-2 in the 8th, but Hader gave up another home run. This one to Matt Chapman. 2-run shot turned the game around. Final score is A's 5, Brewers 3. Brewers play the Cubs at Wrigley Field tomorrow afternoon. And in St. Louis, the Cardinals destroyed the Cubs tonight. Matt Wieters hit a 3-run homer off new Cub pitcher Derek Holland. St. Louis beats the Cubs 8-0. So the Central Division standings right now: Cardinals in first, Cubs a game behind, Brewers 2 games out. We'll be right back.
If this is what you're going to copy and paste, Dana, I think we're cool with it.
Yeah, we're just going to run with it through the weekend. Now, there is going to be a slight chance for some showers on Saturday. If you do head outside of the afternoon, evening, just keep an eye to the sky. That's all. Tomorrow, mid to low 80s for afternoon highs for Friday. Mostly sunny sky will be another pleasant day. Just a little warm outside. Saturday and Sunday, we're in the low 80s. That carries us into Monday. A quick moving system will bring a chance for storms late on Monday and early on Tuesday, and then we cool back down with some sunshine and less humidity for the middle of next week. Overall, a really nice pattern looking at that 10-day.
I don't think anybody's going to complain. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.